he's the best back to the front three. There's no real interest in Safir de Roe of Nichols, who must be desperate to get a win now that Mullins has got one on him already this afternoon, and the outsiders just aren't really considered at all. So Don Poli, the best backed horse, but Q-Cod doesn't look as though he's going to get any bigger than 11 to 8 certainly, and 5 to 4 on most boards.
So we've been concentrating on the fall of Q-Card, but we should also talk about the jumping about Jacques Adam, because he can throw in some odd steep landings, and although that might be more of an issue at Cheltenham than it is on a flatter track like Aintree, nonetheless we'd want to have a lapse of concentration here.
No, you wouldn't, although his jumping was good last time out. It is something that's been his downfall in the past, including his prep run for the Cheltenham Festival. But when you look at him, he's got the look of a horse, the physical make of a horse that should be able to take another fairly quick run. He's still got plenty of condition on him. It's not like he's running up light on the back of his race 3 weeks ago. He's a gorgeous looking horse, and as we were saying, when Q-Card came down in the Gold Cup, Jacques Adam was still going really well as well. I don't think he'll have a problem with this more speedy track and flatter track. I think he'll be fine with that, and the shorter trip. I think he's a really classy horse, and I think that he's got a really good chance. It's a fascinating racing prospect.
And what's your take on the Don Poli ride in the Gold Cup and what we can expect from him here today? Dave's already put forward his view.
He was dropped out from a fairly early stage, but I thought it was a fairly sensible ride on the day as it panned out. My immediate thoughts afterwards as they were crossing the line was he's given that a good ride to get the horse into third, because I just think that he would have been taken out of his comfort zone doing more. He looks like a horse who was maybe just a bit short of the pace for a Gold Cup, really. And his form going into the Gold Cup wasn't as strong as some of the others. Now, I think that they will be more prominent with him today, and he won't be as far back as he was, but I don't think he got beaten because he was left too much to do in the Gold Cup. Yes, he finished from a long way back, and he was finishing well, but he finished well partly because he'd done less early.
Let's talk about some of the others. Safir de Roe's career best performance came over this course and distance in novice company at Grade 1 level last year.
Yeah, that was when he won here by a wide margin in a Grade 1 novice in the Mildmay Novices Chase. He arrived into this race last year on the back of a run at other hurdles in the World Hurdle when he was second. This time around, he arrives on the back of a well-beaten 6th place finish. So I think he came into the race last year probably in slightly better form.
I think they're going forward then for the Betfred Bowl. Let's rejoin Stuart Machin.
Advancing steadily towards the starter, who stands flag held aloft and buffeted by this strong breeze.
This market is now in play.
And they're off for the Grade 1 Betfred Bowl. 3 miles and a furlong ahead of them. Safir de Roe in the centre and a sheepskin nose pound handy, with Don Poli and the Jigginstone tilts of maroon and white. Dynast, the lightest of the pair of greys in the lineup, in the leading line as they move on towards fence 2, which is the first of the ditches. Jacques Adam, helping Jacket track somewhere Canada second from the left, a couple of lengths off the lead, and then Q-Card Raw Blue Jacket of Paddy Brennan settling in mid-division ahead of Takanda Searle, Irish Cavalier, and Houblon de Zauber way to the extreme left, just last of the cluster. On down to the third they go at a leisurely early gallop, and it's Dynast who just about shows the way to Don Poli. Jacques Adam up between horses where Wakanda a close fourth. Safir de Roe reined back into mid-division from Q-Card, Irish Cavalier in the first time blinkers, then Takanda Searle, a green sleeve jacket, and there they collide with the rail on the inside. No damage done, but an anxious moment as a bit of a plastic rail is sent flying. Houblon de Zauber continues in last place, having got a little tight to the third, and he has to be kidded around the first turn as well. Off down the far side into this line of 4 fences. Jacques Adam moving up to dispute it with Dynast. Don Poli quite happy to track them in third place. And then Safir de Roe, Wakanda Q-Card, Irish Cavalier, Takanda Searle, and Houblon de Zauber. So the first in this line, Jacques Adam, came through to lead but slightly put the brakes on. just had to correct himself. Quite neat in the end. Half-lengthing Dinast up the rail, Don Poli out wide under Brian Cooper. And then Q Card closer to the lead, now only a couple of lengths off it ahead of Safia de Roe, Wakanda in a pale jacket. And then Irish Cavalier, Takan de Searle, another error at the back of the field from Houblon de Zobo. Second of the ditches coming up to them, fence 6 in total. Jack Adam and Ruby Walsh dictating turns here. Don Poli booted into it, responding with a good lead. Q Card just leaving a trailing leg there. He disputes third with Dinast. Hunting in pairs in behind. Safia de Roe, the noseband shadowed by Wakanda. From Irish Cavalier, Takan de Searle, and finally Houblon de Zobo. Jumping completed down the back straight first time. And Jack Adam leads them to the end of the first third of this Grade 1 Bedford Bowl. Don Poli around the outside of Dinast, pair now disputing second, stalked by Q Card. Wakanda's out wider from Safia de Roe. Irish Cavalier spotted jacket weighted with from Takan de Searle and Houblon de Zobo. They clear out over the next plain fence, the 8th, and it brings them to the end of their first circuit. Jack Adam, no more than a swinging gallop to Don Poli. Second and third in the Gold Cup, respectively, last time. They turn in as the leading pair, just ahead of Dinast away to the right, and then Q Card right behind the leading trio. Wakanda and Safia de Roe next, and then Irish Cavalier, Takan de Searle, and Houblon de Zobo, after a couple of early errors, hasn't really been travelling and is chased along in last place. Fence 10, another of the ditches, Jack Adam, accurate there. Don Poli just jumping a little across to his left. Dinast and Q Card close up. 2 or 3 lengths Safia de Roe from Wakanda. And Takan de Searle, Irish Cavalier last but one, and they're still ridden along Houblon de Zobo. They'd be around 10 lengths top to tail. And Jack Adam and Walsh lead to the next from Don Poli and Brian Cooper. Dinast, Tom Scudamore close up. Brennan sitting in fourth aboard Q Card, who so nearly became a horse in a million at Cheltenham last time. Then the second half of the field, Safia de Roe ahead of Wakanda, Irish Cavalier, Takan de Searle and Houblon de Zobo are now 6 or 7 lengths adrift. They race away towards the back straight for the final time beyond the halfway point in the Bedford Bowl, and Walsh has been allowed to dominate here, pretty much doing his own thing aboard Jack Adam. A length and a half clear to Don Poli and Dinast side by side. Q Card is just a length and a half away in 4th place, and then the nose-mounted Safia de Roe around the inside from Wakanda, tracked by Irish Cavalier. Takan de Searle and Houblon de Zobo has been pulled up. Jack Adam got close to that one, and Wakanda made a mistake, perhaps just beginning to feel the heat. On towards fence 13 they go. Jack Adam with Don Poli now just staring him in the eye, moving up sides. Q Card slipstreaming the leading pair. Dinast sliding back through the field, joined by Safia de Roe. Then Wakanda from Irish Cavalier, Takan de Searle, a couple of lengths adrift. Here's fence 14, another open ditch. Jack Adam saw a stride jump that one quickly, just half-lengthing Don Poli. Couple of lengths Q Card from Dinast, Safia de Roe, and the others beginning to string themselves out a little as they move to the final fence in the back straight. Little separating Don Poli and Jack Adam on landing, and on that occasion Don Poli was a little slicker through the air, and Cooper has a long look in behind. He'll see that Brennan and Q Card are sitting a couple of lengths away in 3rd. Then a 4-length break to Safia de Roe, a further couple of lengths to Dinast from Irish Cavalier. Takan de Searle has gone past Wakanda, who's struggling as they move towards 4 out. Jack Adam and Don Poli as one. Q Card sitting right on their tails. Brennan yet to twitch. They round the turn now with 3 fences left to jump in the Bedford Bowl. Jack Adam, Cooper stokes up Don Poli. He's got stamina in abundance, and Brennan still sitting quietly on Q Card in the centre. Almost 3 in a line now as they draw towards the 3rd last. Don Poli. Q Card comes to join him. Jack Adam a couple of lengths away. They're clear, and now Q Card bounds on into the lead, heading down towards the 2nd last. Still Brennan yet to move. Q Card with ears pricked jumps it 4 lengths clear of Don Poli. Jack Adam back in 3rd. Irish Cavalier a remote 4th. Q Card so nearly the horse of the million at Cheltenham last time, 6 lengths clear. Don Poli is chasing. Jack Adam in 3rd. Now Brennan shakes up Q Card to make sure one more good jump would surely settle it. Q Card down
back to the last. Hold your breath. He's over. Doesn't touch a twig this time. Brennan and Q-Card make no mistake. And they're miles clear of Don Foley. Jacadam back in third. Irish Cavalier a faller at the last. Q-Card